Hey guys, hey Freaky Geek, hey Diary. I'll be right with you guys. I'm getting everything set up. All right, hurry up, or hurry up. Hurry up, Freaky Geek. No, hurry back, Freaky Geek. Hey Nancy, how you doing? I'll be right with y'all. That's awesome, Nancy. Good to hear. Good to hear. I like hearing that. I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. Getting everything set up here. Trying to, at least. I did a boo-boo. I was um what the hell is going on here? Okay. I got into a program before I came on and got lost track of time. So, all right. I think I got everything set. I think. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Kayanet. Did I say that right? I'm sorry if I didn't. What is going on? Well, Nancy, today is not, I only do tarot readings on Tuesdays. Today is my What If Wednesdays. Sorry, still trying to get everything situated here. Let's see, move this over. Yeah, today is my What If Wednesdays. So I'm doing good, thank you. Yeah, today's What If Wednesdays. It's all about cover-ups, conspiracies. Today we're doing a mosh posh of things. I got a couple things I want to. Welcome back, Freaky Geek. Few things that I have weird, odd things to discuss and see, get your guys' opinions on everything. But yeah, how's everybody doing? I forgot my camera's on. Hello. See, it's weird when I do it this way because in one monitor I have everything that I want to read. The other monitor I have what is going. Oh, okay. I see what I'm doing here. Never mind. Okay, there we go. I think I'm set. You know me, don't count on that, but you know. Oy, vey. Okay. So anyway, how's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing well. As always, you know, not that. That's not what I want. If anybody would like to come up and discuss some experiences they have, I got a couple different experiences to go over, but we'll definitely have, you know, people come up as usual on my Wednesday shows. Someday I have to check out because I have a phone number all set up through Skype and everything. Someday we'll have to, you know, set that up and test that because I don't even know if it works anymore. Hey, Smoking and G Sharp, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome. That's okay. I was late getting started today, per the usual, per the norm. I got caught up in watching the Blue Book Project, and I was like, oh crap, I better go smoke before I come up on, live. But I hope everybody is well. You check out everyone. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Tell you it's bad. Well, it wouldn't have been so bad because usually, like, me and my husband watch whatever was recorded. My hands sparkled. Ooh, it's the magic. We watch it together, but people in the restaurant wouldn't leave today. They were stragglers. They close at 9 a.m. our time. The restaurant does for right now. It's only temporary, but and the people stayed till like 20 after 9 drinking coffee. So it's our regulars, so we bend the rules a little bit for them, but so I was waiting for Eddie to come up so we could watch Project Blue Book together, and they didn't leave. Oh, okay. So it went in with my background. Oh, sorry guys, didn't mean to hit. I was trying to make my hands sparkle. I'm glowing. I'm glowing. It must be the new grandma thing. Because I sure the hell know I ain't pregnant. No, we didn't watch the show together. I actually had to. He's like, when you go upstairs and you go live, rewind it so I could start watching it. He's like, how far did you get into it? I'm like, I'm near the end. But so I rewound it, and that's a good thing about we have Philo, which is a DVR system, so I can tape all my shows that I miss while I'm working and watch them. No problem, Smoking in G Sharp. No problem. That's what I do at night. Yeah, Nancy, I really, I can't wait. I can't wait. No, diary. I lost my father when I was 18. He actually came down with Alzheimer's when I was 10. Went in a nursing home when I was 12. And then passed away when I was 18. It's the one thing I got to watch in my family. That and breast cancer. That's why I think that's why I like to research a lot, is because it's keeps my mind sharp. As sharp as it'll stay. Make sure my husband isn't texting me. He went grocery shopping. So, anyway. But he has a weird nickname, Diary. That's why I was talking about last night. Or the other night when we were in Lou Rock. Oh, thank you, Diary. Thank you for that. Thank you. But so when people are doing spirit boxes, I like to wait and say I always say out loud, Dad, say your name. Because he has a very, well, I'll tell you guys, it's Bing. And like I said, it was a common nickname back then, but now it's not so much. So if somebody hears Bing come out of over a spirit box, I always tell them, say your name so I know it's you. Yeah, like Bing Crosby. There you go. Yeah, it's my first grandchild. He's 23, so he's ready. Thank you so much for that diary. I bet you're getting all kinds of messages. I know you were getting swamped last when we were in the stream. Yeah, Bing like in Bing Crosby. That's why I say with spirit boxes, it's I'll definitely know if he comes through. I can't wait to be a grandma. Ryan's excited. He is really excited. Oh, really? That's funny, diary. Okay. Freaky, I was actually going to explain that yesterday on my live stream, and then I totally forgot. Like, I totally forgot about your reading. I'm so freaking sorry. You are going to be first ones. Yell at me. I'm telling you. Come on. Usually you're on my Facebook yelling at me. What the hell? um, but hey, Lil Red, how you doing, hon? Uh, so next Tuesday, you are my first reading. Nope, diary. That was just my dad. That was just my dad. My personality and my jokes and stuff, I mean, sarcastic wise, that comes from my mom, but my personality and everything is definitely my dad. Oh, really, diary? That's cool. I know. Nancy, I can't believe Jamie's going to be 30. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I don't like thinking about those things because it makes me old. I know. Poor diary the other night in somebody else's stream. It was Lou Rocks, wasn't it? I can't remember. She was getting bombarded. She's getting messages. Lou's getting messages on the spirit box. All right, Freaky Geek, hurry back. Yeah, that's what I thought. Um, it was a crazy night. It was chaotic in a good way, but chaotic. Yes, I do remember that, Nancy. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, it makes me feel so old. Oh, how so? I mean, I know it's only been like you said a few bit, but okay, that's what I was going to ask Lil Red if it would you stop um talking with them, did it help? Yeah. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. When you're talking to somebody that has a negative entity attachment, ooh, that'll drain you. Yeah, definitely drain you. That'll definitely drain you. So, Diary, I was going to ask you if you wanted to come up and tell your story from last week, because I know we didn't get a chance to do that. So, I was wondering if you wanted to come up and, like I said, share the story of what you went through last week. Because I'm still curious, man. I'm still curious. And of course, anybody else is welcome to come up. You know, this is a panel show. Okay, Nancy, sounds good. Okay, Diary, no problem. Well, thank you. I appreciate that you like my show. I try to keep it, well rounded. Yeah, Lil Rud, you know what? That's the thing. That's the thing. A couple years ago is when I stopped with the whole, negative friends and family and just I couldn't deal with it. I'm so in a happier place now that I said, you know what? I don't have to deal with this. You know what I mean? Like that weight was lifted off. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Welcome back, Freaky Geek. Let me tell you, if I had more than one PC, I mean, I have one. Hey, Zach, how you doing, hon? Hey, King Batman, what's up? How you doing? Thank you so much for stopping in and showing some love. I appreciate it. I spoiled myself. First, it was getting a smart TV years ago. I spoiled myself with getting that because now I can't live without a smart TV. I spoiled myself by getting this PC and with two monitors. And now if I had to go back down to one monitor, I would be screwed. I'd be like, how the hell did I fit all this on one? Uh, King Batman, actually I've lurked a couple times. I'm a lurker. I'm not too proud to admit that. I am a lurker. A lot of times I'm at work. So and it seems like and I work in case you don't know, I work at front desk at a hotel. And so it seems like every time I get interested in something and I'm typing away, the phone will ring or somebody will come to the desk or needing something or whatnot. So it's like I lurk a lot. Yeah, exactly, Freaky Geek. Exactly. How did I manage that before? It's crazy. And of course, whenever I'm lurking in somebody's channel, I always leave them a like. On here, it's automatic. But down at work, I manually have to like the thing, but I do. I always do. Oh, Nancy, you're no, it's good. I don't Nancy, can you see the typing? Hopefully it's working over there on Facebook as it is in YouTube because Restream is finally their bot is finally working. Um, but you don't have to shut up. This is what this is all about. We love talking to each other. And that hopefully you can see everybody else's chat too over in Facebook. So you don't think I'm talking to myself. Hey, system failure, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. What's going on? Okay, good. I'm glad it's working over there too. I'm so worried that everybody's going to think I'm talking to myself, which I do anyway. That's just the norm. But how you all? I'm glad everybody's having a good day. Oh yeah, I have to talk to myself. I get bored with myself. But so we're going to have Diary come up. And of course, if anybody else wants to come up and share their stories. Today, I got, like I said, a mishmash of things. We're going to talk about elevators in other dimensions, going through other dimensions. What else did I do up here? I was skimming some, so I got to go to the top here. Um, talk about missing 411 cases, eerie silence in the woods. I don't know, just a mishmash of things that I was thinking about doing. Yeah, like doors. Right? We all have to talk to the door or talk to the doors. Oh my God, really? We have to, we have to talk to ourselves, make things right in our mind, I guess. Um, just like elevators to the other dimension. And I'll explain to why I feel like sometimes elevators are doors to other dimensions. Um, See, System Failure. I'm glad I'm not the only one that tries to type and you know, glad we all understand Taiwanese anyway. You know. No, but that would be freaky, Nancy. That would be that's like the staircases. The staircases in the woods that lead to nowhere. You ever see them? Those for some reason freak me out. I mean, I know that they're most likely, structures that have been knocked out, but yes, I can read Zachanese too. Yep, exactly, System Failure. That's exactly it. Yeah, I've heard of that, Nancy. I've heard of that happening. Yeah, Freaky Geek, that's exactly what Nancy's talking about. Yeah, just like that. You go back the next day and it's gone. That was that would be weird. Yeah. I'd be like, "Wait a minute." My technological brain or my scientific brain would go to work and be like, "Okay." Oh, I know that feeling, System Failure. Brain is too fast. I totally know that feeling. And you're trying to type and it's just not. It's like, Yeah, Nancy, and you're always welcome to watch the videos. And, we talk about different things here. Mondays is usually paranormal stuff. Uh, Wednesdays is, of course, is What Up Wednesdays. And Fridays, I do Freaky Odd News. Sure, diary. It should still be in my. It should be popping up there. Maybe not. There it goes. Anybody that would like to come up and tell their story about what's going on and what they've experienced, all that good stuff, can hit that link and come up on panel. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that come, um, freaky geek. If you've had any, yeah, like I said, had any experiences. Sorry, I get captured in reading and I'm like, I don't want to miss anybody or whatnot. Um, no problem, System Failure. No problem. It's okay. I didn't take it as you were yelling at me. Right, Freaky Geek? Yeah, I don't want people telling me about my brain. You know. Oh, shoot. I don't know if this way if I can see. Oh, no, they should play. Oh, there's Diary. Okay. Adding you to the stream.
Hey.
Did I get her? Yeah, I got her.
Hey, everybody.
You there?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking. I can't hear you.
Oh,
Is
no.
it me?
I can hear me.
Oh, maybe I should turn my volume up? Try
Maybe.
talking again.
Hey.
No, I don't hear you.
Can everybody hear me in the chat?
Can you guys hear Diary?
Yeah, they can hear me. That's weird.
You hear Diary? What the hell? Okay, talk again.
Hello.
Why can't I hear? Oh, you guys can hear? I can't hear. What's up with that?
Oh, no.
Let me
Stream
take off my headphones.
takeover.
Maybe that'll help.
Just kidding.
What the hell?
So once upon a time.
Are you kidding me? Why can I not hear you?
Once upon a time, StreamYards did not work. The end.
And she's clear, of course. All right, hold on. Let me change my speakers. See what's going on here. We don't want that. Watch, I'm going to knock myself out of the...
Right, freaky.
Why can't I hear?
This has happened to other people, too. Not that she can hear me.
This is so weird.
This is weird. Maybe I should leave and come back in. I don't know.
It's so funny. I see your lips moving, Diary, but I can't hear you.
I know, like, you're responding and laughing, so I think it seems like you can hear me, but you can't.
Wait a minute. I think I heard something.
It sounds somewhere.
Turn my other light on.
The audio is coming out somewhere.
Hold on. I'm going to try something real quick. Did I break? I rolled over my headphone wire. Oi.
Was it the headphones?
Let me try this.
I don't know. I'm having deja vu that this has happened before. Hello?
I hear something.
Is it better?
Probably myself. Yeah, I hear myself. Talk, Diary.
Hello? Testing. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go back. Here, I'm going to hold on.
All right. If I kick you, will you come back?
Yeah, coming. All right, be right back, guys.
Okay. I see that. I see private. Okay, coming back in. All right, cool. That's weird. You know what? I didn't even hear the bloop. Usually when somebody comes in the back.
Hello?
I didn't hear the bloop. Usually when somebody comes in the back. I can't hear system failure either.
Hello?
Really?
I haven't said anything yet.
Hello? System, can you hear me? Can you turn down the YouTube volume on your end?
I got it on my side. Can you hear me?
I can hear you guys.
Okay, I was just going to say me and System could take over the show.
No, let's not take over a show.
It's a show takeover.
I see how you guys are. You wait till the leader is down.
Infiltrate.
You could just pay attention to our little bubbles moving and laugh, you know.
I know, that's when I said I could see your lips moving, but I can't hear you.
Our little bubbles.
All I could see was the bubble.
You know we're talking.
I just wanted to pop in and just say hello to you all and just see if your StreamYard was working on my side as well. So it wasn't, because sometimes you might have to come out of your StreamYard yourself, Shadows, and come back in because of the audio. I've noticed that on my own. StreamYard's very, very particular for some reason that the audio can drop in and out. But if that happens again, just kick them and let them back in. The link can be bad sometimes. I know that can happen on my own anyway.
Yeah.
It's definitely StreamYard because I think it bounces signal from one to the other, so one gets a bigger signal and so forth, and then the audio can get mixed up as well. I don't know. So anyway.
Well, yeah. The thing, what was happening with me was that my setting was wrong in StreamYards. Like my speakers were okay, but my settings were wrong.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. I'm not used to this streaming as well, but you've been doing it for quite a while, Shadows. Oh, sorry. What's your? Can I ask you your first name, Shadows?
Missy.
Missy.
Yeah.
And your diary of a mind. What? Your diary of our mind.
Yes.
I just want to say hello to you and thank you so much for all your support, Shadows. You were really, 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 really. What a beautiful soul you are, and you know I love you. I love your style. I love what you know. I love your knowledge, and I love everyone that's listening to you and all your followers. You just say so. With that, I'm going to bow out before I start crying.
Aww, that was nice of you to say. I feel the same way about her. I really do.
What a beautiful woman! What a beautiful woman! I'm so happy that I've met you. You know, whatever journey we're on, we're all meeting each other for whatever we're doing, and you know, yeah, peace and love, and keep doing what you're doing because you're doing excellent work. You're doing excellent work.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. It really does. You guys are going to make me cry.
Well, you know, that's part of being human. Don't be afraid to cry. With that, I'm going to bow out. I may go get myself some dinner, and I love you all. Okay.
Love you too. Thank you so much.
Peace out, guys.
Take care, hon.
Take care. That was nice.
Aw, he's super sweet. He's got a good show too, guys. So if you want to check out his channel, please do so. He does a lot of Mandela.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, it's real cool. Hello, Miss Diary.
Hi.
I can hear. Yay.
Yay. Figured it out. Woohoo.
Yay. So what's going on? I want to know the story.
Well, it's interesting. You were even talking about elevators and stuff because I've got stories on that as well. My own personal experience.
Really awesome. Awesome.
No, I was going to come up last week, but I couldn't get the StreamYards to work. Like, I don't know what my phone was doing. And then you were ending your show. So I was like, I don't know. I guess it wasn't meant to be. It was my phone or something, the connection. I was like, okay, well, I guess maybe people next week need to hear it or something.
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
But yeah, I was driving to my doctor's appointment and I was headed, I always believe that the direction that you're facing is very important. I was shown this by whom I believe is the Almighty.
Okay.
When I was taken out of my own body and by the right-hand path. And I've also been spoken coordinates, so I believe that directions are very north, south, east, and west. And plus, the natives of, every lands really believe in directions, where you face, what direction you're facing. So I was I was headed northeast to my doctor's appointment, and about 30 degrees to my left in the city, seated in the east, in the sky, was a pyramid. Now, picture this. This is a very, very cloudy day. The sky is not blue, it's gray. But in this triangle that I saw, the sky was very blue, just within the perimeter of the triangle.
Wow.
It was very interesting. I didn't even know what I was looking at. Have you ever had one of those experiences where you are kind of mesmerized but stuck in what you're looking at?
Like you can't, you're
You
not even
can't.
focused on anything else but that.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
just in my mind. I wanted to grab my phone and record it, but I was just not moving my body. I was fixed on this thing I saw in the sky, and it was huge. It was huge. It was as if I was, I don't know, in Egypt driving upon, the pyramids of Giza, and they were up on the horizon as I was driving in. It
Wow.
was the most wild thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like that with my eyes wide open. I've
Right.
seen geometric shapes with my eyes closed, granted, but while I'm driving during the day on a clouded day and I see this in the sky, I'm like, what am I looking at? And as
Right.
soon as it's like I unfreeze and my body moves to even grab my phone. As soon as I grab my phone, this thing disappears and I'm like, what in the world? Because I'm all about documenting my experiences.
Did it fade out or did it just boom, gone?
It's gone. It's gone. It was so gone that I even wondered if I even saw it.
Right, right.
And I knew that it was there because I could still pinpoint the peak of where it sat in the clouds. The clouds were still separated right up at the top. But if I were to look anywhere else, I could not make out where it was. But
Wow.
I could see if anybody else were to look at that, they wouldn't be able to see what I saw. But right there, I could tell there was a peak of a triangle, just the tip of it at the top of the clouds. So I knew in my mind, I was like, it was there. No, I know it was there because there's a little shape in the clouds.
Right, right.
So I had also been having a lot of visions in the week prior, and I've been having them in this last week after, right?
Mm-hmm.
These strange visions. I've had visions of touching people's heads and light coming out of my hand and light exploding out of their head. White light, the brightest white light. I've had
To me,
dreams.
that's telling you like you need to be a healer. I mean, you are a healer, just your voice alone is, I feel that whenever I watch you on any streams, your voice alone is very healing.
Oh,
At least
thank
to
you.
me.
Thank you.
But I mean, to me, that vision would be about that's the feeling I'm getting anyway, is like healing.
Yeah, I had other dreams of people walking by me and their heads exploding with light. And some of the people's heads looked like a nebula coming out of their head. Like it would
Wow.
be different colors. Some of them had stars inside of them. But the first dream that I had when this started, all these series of dreams, the week before I saw this pyramidic shape in the clouds, I had a dream that I was out with friends. We were out on vacation and we were staying at these buildings. Like it was kind of like a campground. There was tons of acres on these lands, but you could stay in these buildings, and the women had shared dressing rooms and bathrooms, and so did the men. And it was kind of old fashioned. Like the women could sit at these tables and do their hair, and we were just letting loose. There was kids camps there. It was just very fun. There were people that I knew there. I had walked outside, and Kelsey was in the stream with me as well. I had walked outside to go talk to her, and you know what SpaceX looks like in the sky after it launches?
Yeah, with the bubble and then the little bubble.
That's what I saw in the sky. We saw that appear in the sky, and we were like, whoa. We were like, where did that come from? And granted, like, this is a week before I saw this in, reality, that pyramid shape. So we saw this SpaceX shape in the sky. Then all of a sudden, out of this pattern of what that looked like, and I can pull up, I don't even know how to screen share though. I can pull up what it looked like. But if you guys can just get an idea, all you need to do is Google SpaceX and look up what it looks like in the sky. It was really defined, and out of this pattern emerged these huge, giant shadow people of color. They were all, each one represented each color of the rainbow. The first one to come out of this shape was red. The next one was orange, and they were holding hands and dancing out of the shape. The next one was yellow. The next one was green. The next one was blue. The next one was purple. And I couldn't see a face, but I knew they were smiling. I don't know. I knew they were happy. And then all of a sudden, we got a panic. Like, everybody panicked. I had a sinking pit in my stomach that things were no longer happy. And then we were hit by an explosion. Like, it wasn't just some airplane falling out of the sky and crashing. It was an actual, something was launched and we were hit. It was an atomic explosion. It had the mushroom type of cloud with the fire, and I knew it didn't happen right next to us because we all would have died, but we could see it very clearly. So it happened. We knew it happened somewhere near us.
Right.
And my immediate thing was, I need to go get Addison. I was trying to find my daughter. I found out that her dad let her go to the children's camp thing. And I was like, why did you let her go alone? We never let her go anywhere alone except for school. And I found, it was like, I found her phone in our travel bag, and like, I couldn't even call her to get a hold of her. And I woke up with a date being spoken to me by my familiar guide. And he said Friday the 28th. And I said, Friday the 28th? I was like, of what? And he didn't tell me. I looked it up. He didn't tell me the year. He didn't tell me the month. So I'm like, okay, we do have the Friday the 28th of this February. And the next Friday, the only other Friday, the 28th of this year, is August the 28th on Friday. So, and every time I get a date, something in my life happens, or somebody else's that I know. But in my mind, and with what I'm experiencing, I automatically feel that this is a major awakening. We're getting another group of people coming in. I don't know. That's my feeling.
Right. No, I know. It's been definitely with that feeling like I mean, I feel that we've been awakened more and more it seems like each month gets more and more. Like I see more people talking about it, or not having the fear of talking about it, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely feel like something big is happening now. To me, it's not scary, but just
Mm-mm.
like, just it's so funny because when you
Hey,
talk,
Vic.
I hear about pyramids and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
I always think it, and it goes back to what I was listening to last night. One of the programs that I watch is Haunted Road Media. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, I watch them as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and last night we were talking because Mike just did the whole uh, Alaskan Triangle. So, of course, everything was talking, we were talking about that and that. But
Mm-hmm.
it reminded me, and he got talking about ley lines and stuff like that. And it clicked in my mind last night. I'm like, I wonder if that's like the original grid that like Thoth put up that's in Emerald tablets.
Mm-hmm.
Little bits and pieces will click in my head, and it's like, oh, you know what I mean?
Right? Yeah. You know, it's crazy. When we had the major energy shift for myself, and I told you a little about this, is when we had, it was, let's see, March, April, May, June, July, 6 months before the total solar eclipse happened over the United States in the year 2017. That was the biggest energy wave that I felt in my spirit. I have been, talk about being awakened, or I say reawakened.
Right, right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like another with these, like, I feel like with me touching them, it's like we're supposed to help guide them. We've got a new soul family coming in, like another major energy shift, a new awakening coming, another group coming,
That's wild.
and we're going to help guide them.
So this is like a younger batch.
Yeah, and they're going to be fearful. And that's why I think of the explosion. I don't know, they're going to be fearful because when you first reawaken, the first stage is fear. You don't know
Right.
what the hell is happening to you. You think you're going
Exactly.
nuts.
You're like, what I'm going nuts. That's it. I'm going nuts.
On. You're like, and a lot of times the people around you think you're going nuts too.
Right.
Um,
Oh, definitely.
and even sometimes some people who deal with this, they do actually spend time in mental facilities. You know, they end up
Right.
going to see psychiatrists and doctors and ministers and things like that. I mean, and some people don't make it through this process. It's
Because,
too
yeah,
much to bear.
because of that instinct is one of those things why I started my channel, because it was back when, I mean, I'm still into the whole alien thing, obviously, but when
Mm-hmm.
it it really burns my ass, and I'm not even freaking joking about this, because if like what really started my channel was I was pissed that people couldn't talk about what they believed and without people judging. I mean, that's always been a thing of mine. But the fact that if aliens are real and government knew about it, and there are people that lives were ruined because they were just trying to tell the truth, that
Mm-hmm.
really pisses me off.
Yeah.
That the government put these people in. I mean, I know our government's not,
Oh, yeah, I
official,
know.
but people in through all the hell that they did, just
Yeah.
that really, and that's where the whole channel idea came from, because I wanted a place where people could go to feel safe and talk about what they believe in and not get judged.
Yeah, it sucks. It's it puts a when you are awakening and the reawakening in this, you start seeking out channels like that, and you can be put into a fear stage and be highly misinformed. And because you do have these players in the field that are up, placed there. They have security clearance. Hello. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
have government security clearances. They have all of this information that you don't have and that you can't even get your hands on. And you wonder, how in the world are you able to get this information? You got to be playing dirty with the other side a little bit.
Right.
But speaking of your well, as far as I want to go first, the triangle in the sky.
Yeah, yeah.
I was told by a woman to be prepared, to brace, she said, brace yourself, and for what's to come. So I'm like, well, that's a lot of information. And yes, I do talk to my guides like this. They know I'm an
I
ass.
know, don't you love how they're just so, it's like, really?
They know I'm an ass. But we joke a lot. They're funny too. They really are.
Yeah, well, mine, as you've seen, they're smart asses half the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if anybody realizes this, but speaking of something upon these lines of being deep like this, have you ever experienced being worked on? Some people could think it's not. I mean, there's a fine line of what is alien, what are aliens, what are angels, and are they really just your descendants from a long time ago, or are they from the future? Because on the other side, there is no time except for the reality we live in.
Right. See, that's, and I mean, I know it's our brains that we can't, calculate everything that we think we can. That's why we drive ourselves crazy sometimes. At least I do. I mean, I'm not speaking for anybody but myself, but yeah, I mean, I've never experienced being worked on. But questions like that do come to mind. I mean, is it us from the future? Is it, that's why, it's the little things that I question, like, well, not little things, but, is that why nukes get shut down? Or, they're always, when they're doing something with nuclear weapons, that's mainly where UFOs are spotted. Are we watching ourselves to say, hey, don't do that, stupid? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I still experience to this day of being worked on from time to time. I'm not afraid of it. I know that they're trying to heal my body. It happens more so when I am in a really bad flare and I'm not doing well at all. Except for some of you who don't know in the audience, I do have 5 autoimmune diseases that I suffer and struggle with every day. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a struggle. I go through times of being flared up and being sick and things like that.
Right. Right. That's hard. That's very tough. Definitely.
But yeah, or if I'm feeling very depressed, they will come to me right away. And I see the weirdest things. I will be told to be still. I do record it. I record what I go through.
Right.
I don't think I'd share it with anybody but close friends. I don't think I would put it on something like this.
Right.
And hopefully me saying this, oh yeah, government's gonna come after you.
Right. Yeah.
Because I actually have, and I have experienced interference like that. Like I've told you in the past, when I've tried to speak out, my electricity has been shut off and everything, my phone at the same exact time. But yeah, I don't think I would share it with anybody unless that they were close to me.
I could totally understand. See, when stuff like that happens, technology is not what I think about.
But
You know?
the halo, I want to kind of describe to you what I see when I'm going through this session, as I call it. You know the halo that the Mother Mary and Jesus Christ have above their heads?
Yeah.
I would liken that to, well, obviously the crown chakra.
Right.
You could also liken it to a nebula, a specific nebula.
Right.
But I start seeing a manifestation of something like that being built up around me. And then within that, I start seeing sometimes they're people and sometimes they're beings. Like I don't know what they are. I've never seen what they are. I can't even look them up on the internet.
Right. Right.
It used to scare the crap out of me back in 2017. But when it first happened,
Oh, I
I
can
had
imagine.
a really scary few months there. Talk about the fourth kind.
Right.
But I don't know, like when people say aliens, what are aliens specifically? I mean, are we all related? Do we share a DNA code with these creatures? Are
Supposedly,
they
I mean, from what I've researched
descended?
and everything, like the DNA, I mean, we have DNA that isn't open in our
There's
DNA.
a lot of DNA codes that aren't even shared with the public. There are so
Exactly.
many codes that are not. They are sealed.
Yep.
You won't find out what they are.
Exactly. And, you know, to me, it's like, why? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand the secrecy. It's our own DNA. What the hell? We should know this stuff or be able to either, if interested, look at it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But it's interesting you say about the halos and stuff like that, because what I was told, um, I don't know if you were in, I think it was Danny's stream at one point, where because I had him ask Astro about this, because there's a little girl that visits me, and she usually visits me. I mean, I've only seen her twice, and that was
Hmm.
when my friend Bobby died. And the second time was when I was going through. It was weird because at that time I was seeing shadow people, but I was seeing like gnome size shadow people, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hell is that? You know what I mean? And I mean, I think shadow people are quick. They were quicker. You know what I mean? And so I got freaked out, and I was talking to somebody about it. And now I wasn't a depression, but it wasn't a bad one. But that was the second time I seen this little girl, and I can explain it. I mean, she's got hair like Shirley Temple, the little ringlets, in period
Mhm.
clothing, that one of those frilly dresses, um, that you would see a kid like wearing, or a girl wearing gloves with, you know what I mean? That kind of, and she's little, and I never knew who she was, but I knew, when Bobby died, when I saw her then, I thought it was my daughter was out of bed. And I got up and went to her room. She's in her bed sleeping. So I was like, who the hell is this little girl? Apparently, and what I was told was we all have lights that come off of us. It's like a beacon to the spirit world. Well, when we're depressed, it dims. And that's why I seen her twice. I mean, she's been around me more, but I've only seen her twice. But that's why, because my light dimmed and she was wondering why. So I've always kept that in mind when dealing with like the spirit world. See, shadow people don't scare me.
No, they don't scare me either.
Yeah, I mean, I deal with them constantly here, but they've never really like creeped me out or anything like that. Matter of fact, that was one of the things that Mike was talking about last night was shadow people, because of course he's got a new book, but he looked at, and me and Eddie, my husband, were discussing this too, where like I mean, I don't want to take this out of context because you'd have to listen to him to tell you, or for him to tell you what he believes, but it's kind of like the reason why we like hear the noises of the paranormal, like a door, but the door never moved.
Right.
It's like interdimensional. You know what I mean? And whether it be us seeing each other in different realms, or, like we live here. So if I go out the door and it's, we're close to another realm or another timeline, they're going to hear the door and think I'm a shadow person, if that makes sense. So it's like all this stuff I'm like putting together amongst the aliens. You know what I mean? Because I think some shadow people are like, could be alien.
Yeah, and it's also, you said something that I've actually said before, with how they can actually see us. They can actually perceive us as a shadow person.
Yeah.
I actually saw clear beings, and I actually caught it on my recording device. And one of them said, "Ha ha ha, Christine, you look clear to us too." And I laughed. I laughed. It was so funny. I was like, wow, wouldn't that be funny if they're in a different reality and they're investigating me and I'm investigating them?
Right. I know. That's the thing. It's like, man, it's so wild.
It's trippy.
I mean, think about it. What if you're sitting there, right, and you're hearing this beeping, and you're like, what the hell is that beeping? And here it is, them on the other side with an EMF detector.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Going, can you hear us?
Yeah. Oh my God. But another thing, I've thought really deep, guys. No freaking joke. I have been told by the other side more than once that I am dead. And
oh man,
I am like, dude, what does that mean? I mean, seriously. Does that mean I've died and I've been reborn, just as, the Bible states, because there's some people in this chat that have not heard the other stories that I've told on your streams before.
Right.
But I've actually thought really, really deep. Like, I actually did have an NDE, and I was taken from my body. Now, I've thought really deep about this. I'm sorry. Did I really come back? Am I just a ghost thinking I came back? Did I switch? Yeah. I never even knew about the Mandela effect until after all this stuff happened. I learning about the Mandela effect and everything, and I'm like,
It's
things are
wild.
different. And I swear to God, like, I'm telling you what, this happened kind of yesterday. I was talking to Alyssa Parrish Rock fam on the phone yesterday,
Mhm.
and she told me that Lou's birthday was in May, and for some weird reason, I could have sworn, no freaking joke, that I watched his birthday in March. I swore like his birthday stream was in March.
No, I kind of remembered it.
I was like,
I kind of remember that it was like, I feel like it was just a little bit ago. I don't know.
I was like, it's in May.
That's my memory.
And I could have sworn that I had done, I do life path numbers for people. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I remember whenever he had his birthday stream, it's an automatic thing for numerology for me to add up life path numbers. I could have sworn that he was a life path 6, that he wasn't an 8. And I was like, what in the heck?
Right.
Why? This is the Mandela effect right here.
Yep.
I'm
Well,
like,
that's like like I said before when I was talking about the Mandela effect. Hey, Allie, thank you for following me on DLive. When I was talking about the Mandela, up at the Fruit Loop thing, it happened within a couple months.
yeah, like seriously, dude.
And I specifically remember saying when I saw the box spelt with fruit, the original spelling of fruit, not OO, I was like, when the hell did they change the name? But then I was talking to my coworker about it, and he goes, do you ever think that, like these companies know about the Mandela effect and they just fuck with us? I'm like, that would be totally messed up,
Totally.
But I mean, within a couple months, it went from OO to fruit, the traditional spelling, and then back to OO. And it's like, wait a minute, what is going on? So it's like, and it also makes me think, like, I'm like, did I change my vibration at all? You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's so strange when that stuff happens. Hey, White Wolf.
Hey, White Wolf,
Speaking of, I said, speaking of the devil, we've got I Am Satan right above there. Lucy just mentioned you a little while ago. It's so funny. You were being summoned.
Yeah, yeah, dun dun dun.
But yeah, I think it's interesting about the pyramid shape, and I wanted to tell Lucid, I wanted to address her comments because I don't want her to feel that we weren't reading her comments.
No, I'm forever reading comments.
I
gestures back here.
Can identify with you. I did put that in the chat, but I just want to reiterate that I identify with you 100%. You and I felt drawn to each other when I first met Lucid. There was a connection. We haven't really had a chance to talk, but there's always a reason. I just have a ringing in my ears right now. There's always a reason, and there's one of them, one of many. And whenever you're ready to talk about your experiences, we're here. You're in this group of people for a reason.
Exactly.
I remember the first time I got up on your panel. I think I had talked about my experiences before with Kelsey because I have, my show with Kelsey.
Right.
It's postponed right now since she lost her dad until she's ready. But
and that's understandable,
But to talk about it, my experiences, I remember just first even talking about my experiences with other people, I'd be just, nervous about it because I did experience all that stuff. But the elevator thing, I wanted to address that real quick.
Yeah.
I had actually, when I first started to experience this reawakening process and astral travel. I didn't know anything about this whole the physical part, like when people sharing these YouTube videos. I didn't know anything about that. I wasn't into looking up things until I started researching what the hell I was experiencing.
Right.
I had actually gone in an elevator when I was taken from my body in one of the occasions.
Oh, wow.
And I had traveled down in an elevator, gone down. And I could see as I was going down many levels. The first time I traveled on the elevator, the next time I flew down with what I call is basically the other half of me, my guide. And then the next time I did this on my own, it was like I was being shown how to do this, and I could
Oh,
travel through the parallel worlds. But I remember the first and the second time, well, actually all the time, as I was going down, seeing, it's almost as if you're in a mall, but a mall of many different, many floors. And you can see every floor, and it goes in a circle, and there's a circle of people, but on each level there's different beings. There were different beings, different creatures, and they were all leaning over the little, I don't know what you call that banister thing, but they were leaning over the side, waving at me as I was coming in.
oh,
They
wow.
were really super excited to see me. And I
Oh,
describe it kind of like a mall, coming down an elevator. But the other times I was flying down the direct center of it, which I almost describe that as like the Tower of Babel. If But not like that per se. It didn't look like the old versions of the pictures.
right, right.
I remember even on one of my visits, just leaving my body automatically, going there and playing in this place. I was completely free. When we were walking around, we weren't just walking, we were so lightweight, and we were like ballerinas, kind of like dancing on our tiptoes from one step to the next. We were
Like
so free
flow.
and
There was
happy,
a flow.
like a flow.
Yeah.
And I remember looking that up, and there were people coming out on YouTube making these videos, saying that, describing their dreams as the same as mine. I would find them mostly on biblical channels of the Lord is coming.
Right.
Dreams of these, and they would be,
Isn't that
it
freaky?
was so wild. And I don't know. I was just amazed that, and there was a handful of people like that. It's just so wild.
Well, that's like, and I'm sure you experienced the same thing I did when I tell about my astral travel, about the Akashic records and that, seeing those blue people. I didn't know what the hell they were, and until a conspiracy theory that led me down a rabbit hole last year or the year before. No, it's been about 3 years. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, a couple years ago, looking up things on the internet talking about Pleiadians and looking at pictures of Pleiadians and going, how the hell did they know what these people in my dream look like?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or in my astral travel look like.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did they know that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's freaky when you come across something like that. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, it really is. Like, okay, White Wolf says is each floor a parallel universe. in my experience, the more I traveled, sometimes it is like that. I would describe like if you were, I can't remember the scientific method for this, but if you were to fold a paper and put a pencil through it,
Oh,
or if you imagine our world as one book page and we're all stacked up on top of each other.
right. Yeah.
It's why
That's how they describe UFOs going through time warps.
right. And
Or
hence why I say they could be investigating us while we're investigating them. Right.
Yeah.
And then I Am Satan says, early in her comment, Stairway to Heaven or Hell. As you've gone through this experience, I don't believe what other people believe as the stereotypical hell. I don't believe that is what other people think it is. I have different beliefs. I don't believe in a place that people are not with what I've seen. And there's no way. I don't believe that there is a place where if you're bad, you're going to burn in hell. No, I believe that in my experience, there is a metaphorical meaning to that.
Yeah. That's why it kind of goes along with my belief of we go where whatever our belief is.
Yeah, and not only that, but just the certain beings. There are some beings that I dealt with that did say that they were from hell, and there's some beings that they say that they're from the land of from a place called sin. But what is that? If you look up the original meaning of that, that is a place of where the Nordic Nordic people are from.
Yes. Yeah.
Not
Valhalla.
I could go on and on and on and on, but I'm not going to go on and on and on.
Right.
The fire of the soul is basically we all have that light within us. Yeah, Lucid says I no longer believe in hell. Yeah, I don't believe in what people think. I think they're highly misinformed in how things were translated.
Right.
But that, like I said,
This is why I hate fear mongering. I don't like people that don't do research.
Right. It's my personal belief.
Yeah. Hey, Exploring with DP. Hey, White Wolf. Hey, I Am Satan. Hi, everybody that came in. I'm so sorry.
Right, White Wolf. Exactly. But once again, I'm going to reiterate, just in case we have anybody who is strong in their particular beliefs, this is what I have experienced. To each their own. This is what my beliefs are.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I did visit the land of Lemuria. Some people don't believe in that. But I did go to a place. Oh my goodness. It was beautiful.
Thinking about it, I get that peace. You know what I mean? That peaceful thinking where it's like, oh, I could stay here forever.
Yeah. It is. I didn't want to leave. And there is, okay. I felt like when I went there, I felt like I was me, but I felt like I wasn't supposed to look like me. Now, people, well, I wouldn't call them exactly people. They were beings that you've never seen before. Very beautiful. But it was some place that we were originally from. And
I think that's why I don't, not to interrupt, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But I don't want to be a boomer. No.
No, go ahead.
Just joking, boomer, if you're out there. But I think that's why I'm so drawn to like pyramids, Egypt, Thoth, Lemuria, you know, all that, of course, Atlantis, all that stuff like that for some reason have always. I remember the first time that they were talking in school. I was in fourth grade. Yeah, fourth grade, when I first heard about Egypt and them finding, they were talking about, of course, the curse and everything. That right there, like something clicked in my head right then and there, because I mean, that's a memory. I don't have too many memories of my childhood, but that memory stuck in my head. And I can remember watching the black and white film and being so interested in it
Mm-hmm.
from that get go. And I've always been drawn towards, learning about all that, and to find out that like Atlantis, or at least some of the research people think that Atlantis is part of Lemuria and that Egypt, all that. It's just wild when it connects.
Yeah, and if you think about even um when the tribes were being brought out of Egypt, they were slaves, but they were being brought out of the lands to be freed. You can look at that as a metaphorical meaning to your spiritual awakening or your reawakening. Like the way I see it, when I close my eyes now, I see in colors. I no longer have that filter on. That if you close your eyes and you're seeing solid black behind your eyes, you have put a filter in place over time. You know, as you've been exposed to certain things in this lifetime and you've forgotten who you truly are. It's why they constantly say, remember, remember, who are you? Who are you? Or that's what they say to me anyway. But, that's also opening, you can say that's also opening up your third eye.
Right. Thank you, Lucid. I hope you get to come back, hon. Thank you so much for coming in.
Much love, Vic. Have a great day.
But yeah, I mean, it's, and it's so funny, and it goes back to the elevator thing. Because when I started having my my one and only out of body experience, I've always got the feeling of when you're going down in an elevator,
Mm-hmm.
that, pulling down feeling.
Right.
And see, I know I have a filter on that because of the fact that, like, I've gotten those feelings ever since I was little. I didn't know what they were. I've had my hearing checked, my eyes checked, my brain checked, from my mom, because I kept telling her I get these feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had my out of body experience, I was laying in bed. I know you've heard this before, trying to get my son to sleep. And I felt it, and I'm just like, I'm just going to let it go and see what happens. And when I did, that's when I opened my eyes and saw my son and myself laying in bed.
Yeah.
And then it hurt because I was like, what the fuck? Back into the body I went.
Like, what is going on?
It hurt. I'm not going to lie. But
Yeah.
I've always, again, with that elevator feeling, I still get them every once in a while, almost to the fact where years ago I was like, well, maybe it's a calling. What the hell? Maybe it's a signal. Hey, I need to talk to you, or something from my spirit guides or something.
It is. It is.
But when I first experienced it, I was telling somebody about it, and they're like, oh no, that's a bad feeling. They're like, somebody's pushing you out to try to get into your body.
Exactly. Oh my God. Like, where did they get that information?
But back then, it was way before I was totally into all this stuff, and that scared the shit out of me. So
Exactly.
I still have that filter on there to where I can't. It's not as frequent as it used to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm still blocking it out.
Do you ever hear something before you're going to come out of your body? You ever hear any sounds?
I don't think so. If I did, I don't remember.
Well, there's some times where I'm like wide awake and I have these experiences where a portal will open up and then I can see through another dimension. And those are these wide awake visions that I call them. But sometimes if I'm going to go into a meditation or actually even before I go into a meditation, I call it like I'm being called to go into the meditation. Like you said, they're trying to tell you something.
Right.
So hear this loud jet engine sound sometimes. And I know that
See,
it's
I do
time.
hear that.
Yesterday I heard it. I've heard this when I'm awake, but this was super loud. I heard this before I was pulling myself from my body. Can you hear this right here?
Yeah.
These are my protection beads. I heard this like a chain, like chains, like dragging.
Right. Yeah.
So loud, and it was a different. Like I said, I've heard him when I'm awake, but for me that was a different experience yesterday. Coming out of my body for me to hear it at that time.
Now, did this happen the same time as you saw the pyramid, or?
No, the day I saw
Okay.
the pyramid, I forgot to mention that I had an immense pressure in my ears, particularly on the left side, which is interesting because I saw that, like I said, I was headed northeast and I saw it 30 degrees to my left, which was seated in the east.
Right.
So it's like I heard it or felt the pressure in the direction I was being guided to.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
Now, this takes me to another question. Are you one of the people that, like, when you talk to yourself in your mind, you hear words, or do you see words, or?
all of it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Were you here when I asked that question before to everybody?
Yeah, I totally understood what you were talking about.
That was wild to me that some people don't speak to themselves in their mind.
Oh, no. I have conversations all the
Yeah,
time.
same here. But see, the
Yeah.
only other thing that I don't hear sounds, but like if it's dead, I don't know if this is just a normal thing or it's just me, I'm just nuts or whatnot. But I know a lot of times if it's like eerily quiet wherever I am, I'll it's almost like I'm waiting for, hey Sharon, how you doing? Like an explosion to happen.
Yeah.
It'd be okay. I'm not nuts then.
No. I get that too.
Okay. Like,
After I saw that, I've been getting, and I'm going to mention this because we'll see what anybody else has to say. I decided when I got home to pull out. I have a device that I can that it's kind of like the Ovulus.
Okay.
What that pulls words up.
Yep.
Even though I have these experiences, I always like to get proof, right? I want to see if anything comes through. I also did voice recordings as well. But I did, I got a word, that meant, it was, I forgot it. I forgot what it said, but it was the Italian word for grandmother.
Nani?
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
What my kids got. That's the only reason my whole
Thank
family.
you. And it's interesting because I called my grandmother Nana.
Okay.
But that's what I got on there, and I also got the Virgin Islands. Now, I
Oh,
don't,
that's weird.
why, I don't think what.
There was, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, it's funny that you brought up Nani because when you said the Italian word for grandma, my mom picture it like popped into my head. So I was like,
Really?
Nani? And then when you said Virgin Islands, like it was just, I don't know if it was a weird like memory that I don't even know what it was that popped in my head, but it, like Virgin Islands, I like my mom talking about Virgin Islands before because I used to get like Rhode Island and Virgin Islands and Coney Island all freaking mixed up because there were so many freaking
I've
islands.
gotten
You know?
that too. Yeah. Uh-huh.
But I remember my mom talking about going to the Virgin Island. I never went there, but when she was like young, and it was just
Oh,
that whole sequence of events just happened while you just asked that question.
oh wow. That's wild. That is so wild. And oh my gosh, and your dad came through the other day.
I know.
He came through to me. I was getting a line of people coming through to talk to
I'm
me.
sure.
Sometimes I have to click off of these streams and say no more.
Right.
I was okay with it, but it was the night of Lou Rock's stream, but I wanted to wait to talk to you to see if he had anything else he wanted to come through. And
Right.
also, I'm hesitant when I talk to people about their loved ones because as you know, I can see death 2 years before it happens.
Right.
And sometimes their spirit comes to me before they've even passed. So that's why I asked, has your father passed yet? I want to make sure that he wasn't coming to me before, you know what I mean? I
Right.
wanted to confirm that. But yeah, I also have a message I need to give Tammy. I need to see who needs to clean their room. You see the funniest things. I'm
Yeah.
like, does she have a do my parents have a message for me? And I'm like, you need to clean your room.
But it's little things like that would be like, oh yeah, that's definitely them. You know?
I mean, but normally, even if it's something like that, they can
Right.
connect. You can connect with it, right? It's
Mhm.
something that you can connect with. Maybe they were a clean freak in their life or something. I don't.
Right.
I need to get with her the next time I see her around in these chats and say,
But
by the
yeah,
way, you need to clean your room.
it's I know stuff like that's hilarious, but it happens. And you know, that's why I said I always say, you know, Dad, say your name. You know, I mean, because his real name's George, but you know, that's obviously it's not common now, but you know, Bing when
That is
someone
so
says Bing,
strange. No freaking joke that you said that because I was literally okay, you're gonna laugh. I was literally going like, because when I hear spirits, I'll repeat them, but then I'll be goofy and I'll be like, bing, bing. I literally heard bing and I was like, bing, 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 bing. And Addison looks at me like I'm nuts. And I was like, bing, bing. And she's like, what are you doing? I just started laughing. And I heard him talking to me. I was
would
like, I
do
don't
that, you know?
I didn't know the correlation. I didn't even know to tell it to you
Yeah.
until you said something. What the
You're
heck?
like, wait a minute, what? You said Bing? Like,
But if
yeah,
you were here in person and you were hearing, like if they came to me in person, you would hear me and I would be the same way. I'd be like, ding, ding. You would probably witness the same thing and be like, oh my God, what did she just say? But no freaking joke. I got the chills when you said that. I was like, oh my God. I didn't even think to mention that to her because I just thought it was something goofy that I didn't know it was the message that was.
right.
I was
Yeah.
giving you. I didn't know
And
that.
that's why, you know, I do that with the spirit box. I'm like, you know, Dad, say your name because I know Bing. Who's going to come up with Bing? You know what I mean? It really, unless they're talking about Bing Crosby, ain't nobody coming up with Bing. You know,
Oh my God. exactly. That is so wild that even happened.
Yeah.
But it's also
That was so crazy. I'm telling you, for some reason, I was at work, so I couldn't, type that much.
Mhm.
Or I have to watch it when I'm lurking in streams, because if people come up and people are swearing on the stream, I'm like, oh, God. It's just normal to click out of it instead of turn it down, But
Mhm.
uh, that night in Lou Rock's channel, it was definitely crazy energy.
Yeah. Hey, Rosie. It really, really was. Like,
I
I
mean, that was
felt,
the first time in a long time that I felt that kind of energy in one of his streams.
yeah, I felt drawn to that girl, Kaylee, in the stream. Like,
Yeah.
she was like thinking like her dad was stuck in purgatory, and that's not what I was getting. And because she'd played with the Ouija board, and that's why I was like telling her what I was saying. You can't always trust that. And I was trying to get her to tune into herself. And then all of a sudden I started hearing her dad coming through and talking to me. And right when I kept asking her, I was like, Kaylee, does your dad call you baby girl? After that, Lou Rock said, Mark. I just heard somebody say Mark.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Kaylee, did you see my message? No. I was like, Kaylee, did your dad call you baby girl? And he said, baby girl, I love you. I'm at peace, But yeah, she messaged me and she was really touched. And that's exactly what she needed to hear, because it's been bothering her. She thought her dad was in purgatory.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
She thought he was lingering, And she
Yeah,
asked me
it's a
some
lot
tips.
easier. I think you've had a near-death experience, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
More than
think it's a
once.
lot easier for us because we've been through it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, even with my sister telling me to get back home, I've never told my nephew that, because I don't want to bring, it's just something, I don't know. But because we've gone to that part of it, we know the feeling. I'm not going to lie, it was a great feeling. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I can't wait to feel that way again,
Mm-hmm.
but I can wait a little bit longer,
Oh yeah.
just in case, Grim Reaper is listening. Hey, I can wait, believe me. Um,
Oh
but, it's
yeah.
because we felt it, we know it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I really wish, um, everybody can feel it at least once in their lifetime and come back, obviously. But I mean, just to know that their loved ones are okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That definitely, going through that helped with my mom and even my dad, even though it was years ago passing, just to know the feeling of everything was okay on the other side helps me with knowing that people, my loved ones who have passed, other people, that they're okay.
Yeah. And, this girl, she messaged me and she asked me how she could tune in better so she could hear her dad. And I told her all of these. I was like, everybody has a gift just waiting to come out of them, right?
Yep.
And I said, you may not hear your dad. You may see pictures in your mind. Maybe that's the way he's going to come through. Or you might see words in your mind, or you might hear him in your mind rather than with your ears. You may get a message from him in dreams. So I sent her a guided meditation so she could start out with that. But I feel the thing that was blocking her from actually hearing him is the fact that she thought he was not crossed over, the fact that she thought he was lingering, like
Right.
in a bad place. So that kind of puts up a fear wall,
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
definitely.
and she, that could have kept her from hearing him, because trust me, he was very clear with me. So I think it was just a little fear. And I told her to get back with me. So I really hope that she does. And I told her that she needs to do this meditation every day and to be patient with it. and
Yeah,
looking
that's
for some more meditations to work with.
right. That's the thing. A lot of people don't understand how much fear blocks. I mean, don't get me wrong. Fear is a good thing for, survival instincts, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But fear is an ego-based feeling.
Yeah.
And so anything unknown, of course, we're human. We're going to be fearful of. But if you get past that fear, like, years ago, I'm not kidding. Years ago, when I first got into like paranormal, when I was back in 15, 16 years old, when I first got into paranormal, shadow people would have scared the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I was fearful like that. I mean, I'd get scared over watching Ghost Hunters. Come on now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But and that's why when people ask, well, what do you feel about the paranormal now? I said I'm more skeptical of evidence now. I'm not more skeptical of paranormal experiences because I believe everybody feels what they believe and what they saw in their experience. I definitely believe in that. But I'm more skeptical of evidence now than anything, and that ghosts really don't scare me. Humans scare me more than ghosts,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I agree, White Wolf. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think my thing was I grew up thinking I would burn in hell if I communicated with these spirits that were coming to me.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily raised. I had more so been called to go to church. I did that myself because I think I'd already told this experience on one of your shows before, that I had literally gotten on a church bus myself because I know that I met Jesus.
Right.
Or
Right.
who I thought was who I thought was Jesus. But there was a reason why I needed to do that. And just like Wife Wolf says, with education comes knowledge, with knowledge comes wisdom, wisdom comes understanding. When you're going into, that's where a lot of people get stuck. When you're going into reading these books, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can get stuck on the words because you have not yet learned the actual meaning behind the words yet.
Right.
As you're growing up, right? You're taking it on the surface. You're not taking it deeper than that. You're not looking at the deeper meaning. You are basically stuck by fear. And you're also being told by several different people in the Christian community, don't commune with spirits. However, they're standing standing up there before their church saying that they're hearing the voice of God. Are you hearing the voice of God? How do you know?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yep. Yeah.
Are you really communicating with God, or are you communing with spirits up there? Are you actually being taught by a trickster? How do you really know? I mean, I'm just being an ass right now.
No,
But
exactly. I know exactly what you mean.
so, yeah, and then you have to, well, mine was what I would liken to being filled with the Holy Spirit, or I experienced my whole body being lit up back in 2017 like a lantern. And then after that, I was like somebody gave me something to, and then like I said, I was pulled from my body. And I met whom I thought was the creator of the Almighty, who flew me north, sat me in the east, faced me west, showed me the directions of how to communicate with what in each direction, and showed me north of where they lived. a place of evergreen and gold.
Right.
So, and then I read it in parallels in the original, interpretations, in all different languages. Actually, it was actually quite fun. I'm actually, I go through these moments. I spent a year and a half doing that straight every single day. Nothing else. I was not on YouTube at that time. This is all I ever did every single day.
Wow.
For a year and a half. And then when I was told that, I was actually told to come on YouTube, because I would meet the like-minded like me, and I have.
Right. Same here. Well, I mean, like I said, I had my old channel for a while, but I never did videos or went live or anything like that. But
Right.
when I, started making, it was funny. It's real funny because I had some of I know you've heard this before, but I've taken blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's getting that time. It's I took a hiatus from the paranormal for like 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because it was actually one of my witchy groups that had mentioned paranormal, and it was like, boom, you have to get it back into it now. I mean, that's my brain was like, paranormal. Oh my God, that excitement again. And that's when I started. You're one of the first people that I met, Danny. That's when I started meeting all you guys, and it was like I was brought back here to the paranormal, hence to meet you guys, like-minded people. It was very strange how it all happened.
Yeah, and you don't feel all alone. You don't feel like you're going crazy. You're like, oh, there's other people out here with the same experiences, similar beliefs. Some of them have the same beliefs,
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But that's
like
what I like. I like picking brains. I've always
Right.
been like that. I like picking brains. I like knowing what other people think, their reactions, you know what I mean?
Do you like to people watch too?
Yeah.
Me too. You like people watching?
Yeah. When you're sitting here, you're like, nobody's coming in. Had those days too.
Sorry to throw a joke in there. I'm like that too.
Oh,
Definitely.
definitely. You got to be lighthearted,
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm glad I came on to got back into it myself, because back in gosh, I was starting to get really into spirituality back in 2000. Well, actually, I've always really been into it because I used to do tarot when I was a teenager in my early 20s, and then I stopped for a couple of years, and then I picked it back up. But I started really studying about in my mid 20s. I was studying like numerology, pendulum. I'd made my own pendulum. I was studying all these things, and then I moved on to other things. I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, and I stopped everything for a few years until I had this big reawakening, and I knew I had to get back into it. I was like, I'm being called to get back into it.
Yeah.
Much more than that, it's like everything I had been studying just blew right open for me.
Right. Yeah.
Study
And
even
that's the thing, like I go through spurts, like back in the day when I started, like I've said before with my tarot.
Mm-hmm. You're
I
really
was
good
like,
at it.
how the hell am I going to remember all this shit?
Right?
You know what I mean? It was the same way with runes too. Runes was the first thing that I got into.
Mm-hmm.
I loved runes, and I still do today. Could I read them? Not at the moment. but tarot was the second thing. And I was just like, there's no way. Why does everything got to be so complicated, you know?
Yeah.
And then I went to my pendulum. My pendulum's always been my number one thing. I love working with my pendulum, and my dowsing rods. And and then one day I was just like, years and years later, I just started reading about tarot again. And I'm like, I should give this guy now, a much to my husband's, you know, over thousands of dollars of tarot on my desks, and stuff. But it's cool because it's almost like I've said before, when each deck is a different personality. Same with my Scullies. They're different personalities. I've always been into crystals. Couldn't tell you. I have to look up crystals. I can't remember them all. I mean, I know the major ones, but it comes in bursts and spurts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just like with the whole my kundalini. I can't even say it.
Kundalini.
Yeah, that.
Mm-hmm.
With the mini earthquakes in my spine.
Mm-hmm.
That's dismissed, but not dismissed, but it's died down a lot. But then I'll have days where it's doing it again, and I'm like going on, U.S. Coast Guard. Did we have an earthquake?
It's saying, "Come on, meditate. Let's
I
go.
know. Well,
Let's go for a ride." Yeah. Sure.
If anything, meditation does not work for me. I mean, it does. I know it does. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
I
you
really,
just
I'm
have to
not
find your right your kind of meditation.
right. Yeah, exactly. Within all, that's how it is for everybody. With everything, like when I first started being my witchy self, I had the whole, I had a crystal ball. I had a freaking my altar set up. I was doing, devotions every day to the god and goddess, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this is not me. This is more organized than I want to be, and that's when I, really got into, what? I'm magical. Everybody's magical.
Mhm.
I'm going to do it my way. And that's
Yeah.
why
Make it.
I'm one of them people on Facebook or wherever going, because there's always those witches that are like, no, you have to do it this way. You have to do it that way. It's like,
No,
no.
you go with what's in what your DNA is calling you to do.
Right.
That's what I do. Like, if I want to be, I'm witchy woo woo. I take, say for example, take a candle, if I want to put my intention into cleansing the energy, get through a particular health problem that I'm going through that week, I will put my I will do something that I will turn certain ways
Yep.
and move the candle a certain way while I have my eyes closed after I light it, and I will literally see this light growing around me, and I'll move my hands in different directions, and I'll spin around, and I'll be raising the candle up. And then once I feel like I've put all my intention into that candle, I will say that once this candle has completely burned down, that it is so. Like, everything that I put my intention in is going to be completed, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
And it's not just using a candle. Sometimes you do that with your mind. You can
Yep.
just shine a light on things.
Exactly. I finally understand, after I mean, it's been a while, but I mean, when, I had elder witches sit there saying, you don't need any utensils, you don't need any tools. It's
No.
great for visualization, but other than that, you don't need anything. They're totally right.
Yeah. One thing was, I had heard somebody say another good intention trick is to put it's there. I think you may add something else to this, but maybe even just water. Put a block of ice in the freezer, or fill up a glass of water and put your intention into this water. So if you want to get say for example, if you want to clean your house, put that in the freezer and let it freeze. And that's one little tiny trick of cleaning. Or I had done this
Like that wouldn't work for me because when I do freezer spells, it's to freeze something.
right.
You know what I mean? Like I might say freeze my I might say, how would I put that? Freeze my procrastination or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
That's exactly what
something
you
that
would do. That, you know what? I was going to do that when I was moving. And right before I even did it, I saw this light in my mind as I was running through the little spell I was going to create in my mind of what I was about to do. And I saw this light in my mind, and I didn't need to do it. And I successfully finished what I needed to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It does
I
definitely
didn't
make
even
sense.
need to put I didn't even need to freeze the water.
Right.
Because I already got verification that it was done. My
Yeah.
intentions succeeded.
Well, see, that's how I do a lot of things too, is I like, okay, for the house that I want, because it is a unique house. Because I'm weird like that. Um
Mhm.
um I'm probably visualizing a house that probably could not even be structurally sound, you know.
Right.
But I see myself in it. Like the first thing I see is me standing in the kitchen because my kitchen's got to be big and um, with my kids at the table eating pizza because that's what they normally would if they'd come over to my house. We'd have pizza. My husband in the living room, my witchy office type thing upstairs. I picture that and I picture me being in that house and taking steps and walking into myself, like coming through my door and then sitting down here. And that's how to me, that's how I'm raising my vibration to that level. So I'll get there and get that house, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah. You know what I did a year ago? I wrote down a list of I ams of everything that was already going to come into fruition. Did you know that I totally forgot about that list? And I found it when I was going to move, and everything on that list came true.
I believe it. Oh,
You,
definitely.
you know what I did?
That was about the whole thing with Bruce Lee. I don't know if you've ever heard the thing with Bruce Lee.
What about it?
And um, apparently he swore by it too. He wrote a contract to himself
Oh,
that said
really?
this year um, I will have $20,000 in the bank or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wrote out, he didn't know exactly how he was going to do it, but he wrote it down like this year I'm going to have $20,000 in the bank and signed it, put it away, and boom, that's when everything started happening for him.
Yep. After I found that one, you know what I did though? I created a new list.
There you go.
And I put it away, and I haven't looked at it since.
Right?
I know I didn't think about it till just now, but I know that a few things on that list has come true. So
Right.
I don't remember
Said I did a freezer spell on a gossipy neighbor. Hey, hell yeah.
right?
Yep. That's exactly it too.
Yeah, Jim, I can't remember what I was going to add to mine. I don't know. I don't remember what I was going to add to mine to have my intention done. But yeah. I swear by my little candle trick, my daughter looks at me like just in awe, and
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's one thing, I sit there and it's funny because I was like, that's one of the first things that I've ever taught my kids. Because my kids, I don't pressure them anything.
mm,
Like my son, the first thing I taught him was how to talk to Pan and ask if he can take a leaf off a tree or anything like that in that nature. My youngest, she's going to be a candle magic freak. She
no.
she can make a candle dance like no tomorrow.
You say that now. We were doing that the other day, me and my daughter both, and I was showing my daughter how to do it, and she was doing it and she was giggling so hard that she was able to do that. That's interesting that you said that.
Yeah, that's one of my oldest daughter too. My oldest daughter, she got more into it. She thought it was cool telling her friends that my mom's a witch. And but she when she started getting into it, I've always said my books are always open because at that time I had like 7 books of spells. Yeah, I copied down everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that's before I had a printer. So, but yeah, anytime I, but it was kind of scary when I taught him candle magic because I was like, God, that's we're supposed to tell him not to play with fire. Um,
Right.
so I get of course we'd do that and then I'd worry about it. But yeah, my first, but I would say both of my girls was candle magic. Ryan, not so much. I don't know why, but apparently he's more nature. He's like me. He looks exactly like his father, but he's my personality, my heart, everything. The girls are more their father
Mm-hmm.
aspect of everything. Where he thinks I'm nuts because I'm a witch, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
But my youngest is taken to it. She plays all the weird. She's gonna be my paranormal witchy person, just like me, because she loves watching scary stuff. And
Yeah. I
she
wish.
does all the what was the Charlie game and all that. She tries it all out.
Oh my God. Speaking of that, my daughter actually, this was a few years ago. I can't remember if it was 2017 or 2018.
Hello.
Oops.
That's
Sorry. Hi.
a lot of
Sorry, everybody. My alarm. um, she had done, I didn't mean to hurt y'all's ears. Sorry about that. Um, wake up, everybody.
yeah, exactly.
Um, but she was over there. They have those kid videos on YouTube. Charlie came, right? And the kids are doing it in schools. They're doing it
Yep.
in schools, dude. Okay, so she was over there and she's like, Mommy, where's the pencil and paper? I had no idea what she was doing, dude. No clue.
Right.
She went over there and I walked on the side of it. She starts screaming because the pencil started spinning.
Ah.
It actually worked for her.
Wow. See, yeah. Well, no doubt in my mind that she's gonna be like you.
And I was like, baby. I was like, baby, calm down. Calm down. I said, let me walk you through it. You started this. You're going to have to finish.
Right, right.
You're going to have to help me close this gate. Okay. Because I was like, she was bringing fear in, right? Because she was getting really super scared.
Right.
And I didn't want her to bring in anything that, I've dealt with they're little, reference them to little trickster spirits. They like to have fun and,
Yeah, yeah.
make things go bounce in the night, bump in the night,
Exactly.
play little tricks on you. But yeah, she did that and she got so scared and I was like, it's okay. And I held her and I was like, all right, let me walk you through this. And I walked her through the steps and I had her close her eyes and I had her and I had to tell her, I was like, all right, so what does it say to do on your video? She's like, well, we got to tell it goodbye and everything. And I was like, all right, well, say thank you, for communicating with me. And I was like, calm down, take a few deep breaths, and say that you would like for them to go back to where they came from and everything, and envision that they're leaving in your mind, okay, and close that gate. So, we did that, and she never did that again. She never did it again. But she was so little. She was like 5, almost 6 years old. She tried to do that. I was like, yep.
Yeah, well, I think what woke my daughter up to the whole, at least the scary side of paranormal, is because she wanted, me and her brother used to play Five Nights at Freddy's,
Oh, yeah, my daughter loves FNAF.
Yeah, and she wanted to play. She was younger. She was like, this had been like maybe 5 years ago. So she was about 7 or 8, one of those two, And I'm just like, no, this is for, bigger kids. And she's like, well, I want to play it. I want to play it. I want to see it. Can I see it, Mom? Can I see it? I'm like, no, I don't want you to. Well, she had taken my iPad and snuck off. And she come back out. And she's just sitting on the couch and she's watching this video apparently. And all of a sudden, I know my iPad went flying. And I'm like, what did you do? And she's like, I watched the video and I looked and I saw it was a 5 night. I'm like, did that scare you? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's why I don't want you to play it. But after that, she was obsessed with like paranormal stuff and scary stuff. And her brother
loves
the same way, absolutely loves it. Now she's learning, she wants to learn more about it. And we sit here and we'll talk, and she's like, well, now what did you buy, Mom? What equipment do you have? And I'll tell her,
my daughter does the same thing. I was actually, before she already was having visions and everything. I mean, like today, she stays late today. I would have already had to get off of here if she wasn't. She's at Bible class right now.
Oh, nice.
I never had put her in any kind of church, or we didn't teach her any religion when she was younger, because we didn't want to tarnish or taint any of her. We wanted to see if anything came to her, and she did. She had visions when she was 4.5. She spoke things that she would never have known. She was seeing angels, and she never knew. We never spoke to her about any of that. So I decided, when she came to me, she's like, they're having beach club. They call it beach club Bible study after school, after school. Can I go? And I was like, yeah, because she's old enough to know the difference, and she knows how I study it. Right. And, but I said, but you just can't go talking about certain things. Like,
I know that's the hardest with my kids, because in my house it's open game. It's like whatever. But I'm like, no, I have to tell my husband that. Yeah, he'll start talking paranormal around people like guests and that. I'm like, honey,
like she'll see spirits. She's seen spirits at school sometimes, and I have to tell her, is like, you don't really want to talk about it to other people. Well, why not? Because they might think, you need to go to the mental hospital.
Yep, it's sad. It's sad that we
at that time. We're still in that time where, we're not quite there, where everybody believes in this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, the biggest for me was my family. I mean, even though my family's cool, most of my family's cool, just because there's I don't know. I was always, I felt like I had to be prim and proper around my family all the time.
Oh, that's how I feel with mine. That's why I don't really see them.
Right. And it's like, but you know what? I'm like, screw it. I am who I am. I'm telling you, I hit a certain age and I was like, I don't give a frick about anybody, what they think about me.
That's like with me. I cannot believe, like, My sister-in-law, my brother, my whole side of the family is all about. I mean, my mom is psychic and everything, but she's still stuck at the fear stage, you know.
Right.
And she goes back and forth, right, on what and whom she's communicating with and everything, like, and same with me if I tell her anything. Are you sure you know who you're talking to? And I even told my mom I've regretted telling her what I do on what I have plans for my future. And she was not happy. And that was disappointing to me because I wanted
Right.
her to be happy. She's not there yet, right? She's not quite there yet. But my sister-in-law, my brother, they're like, I didn't really quite tell them what I do. And my sister-in-law would always be asking, what's your YouTube channel? And what's going to be the name of your podcast when you get it and everything? And I was like, well, I really don't want to share that with you. I'm sorry, because that's personal to me. And if I have my family on here, I feel like it taints my energy. They really
Right.
do. They give me, I don't feel like I can be completely free if they're here, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But my sister-in-law a few weeks ago, she sent me a psychic's information, and I was like, I thought she was trying to get advice about her, and I was like, I looked her up. She's close to me. I was like, wow, I'm really impressed. This lady, she's got a YouTube channel. She's got her own podcast. She's got her own website. She doesn't have a lot of followers. It looks like she started her Twitter a long time ago, but maybe she changed the topic over time. I did a lot of research on this lady. I said, but I'm really impressed with what she has to say. She thinks a lot like I do. And
Right.
she's like, oh, I was just sending it to you because I thought you would like her. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you believed in this kind of thing.
It's wild. It really is when a family member or friend, a close friend that you're like, like my best friend, she knows that she don't believe in any of it. But she knows how I am, that I've always been this way.
Mm-hmm.
Because you open up more, you be yourself around certain people and that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just got that's really cool though that she did that, you know.
And I'm like, huh, have you been snooping around and taking a look at my pages? It's
Right.
not hard to find. I mean, when you really dig deep.
Well, yeah, that's like if you if really, I mean, if I really thought about it, like if my family members that I'm friends with on Facebook started checking out, my friends or whatnot, they would definitely see.
Yeah.
I mean, I have real friends and family, paranormal people, witchy people. Those are about the only categories that I have. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Well,
so, I mean, if they definitely checked out my friends, they definitely know.
yeah. And you mentioned your best friend. See, I have a best friend that I've had since childhood. This is my best friend of all time, best friend.
Right.
She is like my soul twin. We are it's like the yin to the yang. Um, and I really literally feel like we are, I don't know, we're a part of each other. And I was given confirmation that we are like twins. She was put here she is, you want to talk about Christian holy roller to a
Really?
T. She was raised by a minister. She's married to a minister. She homeschools all of her kids under Christian schooling. She's got 5 kids.
Wow.
Like to a T. I have talked to her about visions, and she's like, very. She believes like that it lines up with the Bible and everything, right?
Right.
Because she knows that like the back of her hand as well. But I can't. She's never going to she's not here for that, right? She's here. She's her. She is like one of those people that you would meet that is like a breath of fresh air.
Right.
Like, that this person's a good person, right? That's how she is. She's very magnetic. People are drawn to her.
That's awesome.
And but she's meant for the Christian community. That's her place in this world.
Right.
I'm the other half of this. I'm like I said, the yin to the yang. I'm the other part of the spirituality part, right?
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
to lift up in another way.
Right.
But I'm not. It's like the other one is still living in a fear-based, like a lower dimension. I'm in
Right.
a raised dimension. Does that make that makes sense? Like
Yeah.
a little further up, right? More open.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we do make a whole. Anything I need to talk about, if it pertains to God and biblical stuff, we can talk for a long time. Well, we can talk for hours anyway. That's how we are.
Right.
I've got just a handful, literally a handful of friends like that. And
Yeah. That's how I am with my husband, because he's more. But I mean, I've gotten him more into paranormal, and obviously, he's doing the Estes experience, and he would have never done that in the past.
mhm.
But, yeah, he's more Bible person. Like when I have Bible questions, because I'm not a Bible person, you know what I mean? So when I have questions, I go to him about things like that. Then that's why me and him get along so well, because we have some deep discussion about, you know, worldly things, you know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
like we have really deep discussions. And that's one of the reasons too for this channel, because it was going to be me and him doing this. Um,
Really?
yeah, because we'd go back and forth, but I think I'm drawing him more over to my side, so it's not as fun as anymore. You know, but I mean, for him, like, let me tell you, like last time I talked about him seeing that glitch with that person walking, and if anybody's in chat don't know what I'm talking about, my husband was out on the porch and he saw this person walk. I wonder if he'd explain it. Hold on one second.
Okay.
I don't want to blow your ears out. Hold on.
All right. Well, I'll just talk to the chat. Oh, cool. He's going to explain it. I like her husband. I've seen him talking to her here and there. So, yeah.
He's not even in the room.
Oh, he's not? Oh,
I thought I heard him talking. I'm like, okay. No, he wasn't even in the room.
that's happened to me so many times.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, y'all were connecting just, in spirit,
Yeah, right. But
He's
anyway,
weird,
with
just
the
letting
whole
you.
glitching thing, because who knows when he'll be coming back up. He's probably down having a cigarette or something. He saw somebody walking down the sidewalk, just normally walking down the sidewalk, and their leg like twitched, like it got stuck for a minute. But the person never, like, if it happened to us, we would have fell forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously. But the person didn't like trip or anything. It was just like hanging there in mid stride. And then they just kept walking. Well, I had talked to him a while ago about background people that aren't really there, but they're just there in our mind, not in our mind, but they're just there to be there.
Right.
And and he's like, he goes, years ago, if I saw that, I would think I was going nuts. But
Yeah.
he's like, now, he goes, now that I, talked about this with you and stuff and different things with you, he goes, that blows my mind. He would have never believed he saw that before.
Yeah.
Well, he's like that, or he's like, you're just making me nuts, which could be possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I have yesterday I was at the red light and I swore that it turned green and I was about to go, and I'm glad I looked both ways even when the light turns green,
Right.
cuz I would have gotten a car accident if I didn't. It was not. It did but I swear it turned green. Like I saw a green light. I don't know. Talk about glitch.
Right.
And you start wondering, okay,
Yeah.
did it turn green? Or am I just seeing things here?
Well, yeah, that's like when have you ever been like walking and you're not to the corner like of a building or something yet, but you can see the other side of the building?
Mm-hmm.
I've done that so many times and I'm like, what the hell is going on? You
Mm-hmm.
know, like all of a sudden I'll be over here and then
Well,
back again.
okay, you know how I say I see in colors when I close my eyes?
Yeah.
And you know how I say sometimes I wonder if I'm even really here? I mean, I literally
Yep.
live between two worlds. It's
Right.
how I feel. When I close my eyes and I look down with my eyes closed, I see through the floor. I see through the ground.
See?
And
That would freak me out.
it makes me, and it's like a thin, I'm trying to describe it. When I close my eyes and I look down, I'm trying to do it now. I see it's like a thin piece of glass and I can see it just keeps going.
See, I should
It's
never be
in
allowed to see that because I would trip.
glass,
I would fall. I'm
but
telling
everything is blue. And yeah, it's like I'm standing on glass, but everything's blue and I'm just looking down and it keeps on going. So you want to talk about the Matrix. And I get it more so. It gets more intense even when I'm in water. But when you think about it, technically we're a bunch of fish and we're living in all these gas. It's like 333. We're living in all these gases. Living in all these gases.
you.
We're just a bunch of fish. We're just getting a different kind of water.
Right, yeah.
I actually did see a mermaid once in the air. Yeah.
Now, was it a scary mermaid or was it a pretty mermaid?
Oh, pretty.
Because
Yeah,
I've seen those scary, well, not personally, but I've seen those scary mermaids and I believe they're real too.
I had sat up in bed and he was leaving and I reached out my hand and I was like, wait a minute, come back here. I was not asleep, okay? I was not, because I even went to go wake up Brandon. And I was like, oh my God, you know what? And I told him, and literally saw this merman. It was a merman. And he was blue. He had long, beautiful hair. He very muscular. I mean, this is so cliche. It's like some of the things, I don't know, that you have seen perhaps, but not quite of any pictures that I've seen.
Right.
He was swimming away. He was very tiny. He was very, very tiny.
Oh, wow.
It was like he was like a part of the fairies.
Okay.
A different kind of fairies, because there's what I call like fairy type of angelic
It's
fairies.
so weird you say that, and I'll explain after you're done. That's so weird. Okay.
Yeah, because there's what I've seen like these little tiny fairies, right? And I've
Right.
also seen like what you would refer to as like angelic beings. With you've got the angelics that don't have wings, and you also have the angelic beings that do have wings.
Right.
Um that can technically take you up to the stars. And then you have these tiny fairy beings that tend to the earth, and a lot of times they don't interfere with people unless they're called to be like, I don't know, unless they're called. Like with me, I'm very drawn to nature and animals and healing. So yeah, I don't know. So anyways, what were you gonna say about
It's just funny that you mix the two, because one of my rings, and I did a spell a long time ago. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. But it was to call fairy seahorses. I believe that's what it was. Fairy seahorses to me. And I'm like, how can a fairy and a seahorse? It was just like, it was weird that you said that, because I remember thinking how, like, I couldn't picture it in my mind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was like a kind of like a mer seahorse.
Really?
You know?
Wow.
So it's like, I just remember, take care, Smoking and G Sharp. Thank you so much for coming in, hon.
And you know those, have you seen those little fairy doors that you can buy for your children?
I love those things. Yes.
Yeah, those are no joke.
I believe it. Yeah.
Those I got one for my daughter, and I would not have gotten her one unless I thought that it was okay to get one,
Right.
that we would not be intruding. And you have to be on that level to be called to communicate with those type of beings.
Right.
And you have to respect them.
Oh, definitely.
And I actually would record asking permission, because sometimes you feel like you're intruding on them. So I would ask permission. I actually got video of lights going to the door, to her little fairy door, and dancing back and forth. And it made me think of Tinkerbell. I was like, I'm not a joke. I'm like, seriously. In my mind, I could see her, what she looked like, and she thought this was fun. But obviously, she's going to look like an orb, like a little sparkly orb on camera.
Right. Right.
And also, another thing we got, it wasn't just orbs. The air, you can tell in the video, the air completely changed around. Like it's almost like you have a clear video, and then you know how, like, if you have a really old phone and the video quality gets really bad.
Yeah.
And like you get all this
The grainy.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. But it was like flying grainy, and I could see the air getting really thick.
Wow.
Like the dimension was changing, and I caught that on there. And then the little sparkly orb. But when I closed my eyes, I could see exactly what she looked like. Anyway, but I think those are no joke.
No. Well, that's like
elven people.
I don't think I said anything on my stream, any of my streams, about what happened to me last year. Now, mind you guys, I am not a person that gets freaked out that much. I'm usually calming everybody else down. You know what I mean? I'm like, people are getting freaked out over seeing a shadow. I'm like, calm down. It's not going to hurt you.
Right.
That type of person, you know? This is when we were downstairs. I went out last year. I forget, I was listening or watching something that I want to say had to do with fairies or what are they called? Not gnomes, but they're little peoples that protect. Oh crap, what are they called? Anyway, so you know those the white cap flowers? I forget what they're called. Like the big ones are really dangerous, but the little ones are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had some of those in the tree line behind the hotel, and It was like, I would say it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I had just finished something that weird. It must have freaked me out or something. But I swear to God that I went out to have a cigarette, and there was and all I could think of was these guardian things, these warrior. It was like warrior people. That's the vibe I got from it.
Mm-hmm.
Enough to where I believe that people can have relationships with dragons, and I have a dragon that protects me.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
Yeah, so does that. So,
and I don't call him unless I'm really freaked out or I feel like I'm in danger.
mm-hmm.
And this thing, well, those flowers had like wilted like they do, like it was going into winter,
Mm-hmm.
And I swear to God, they were like the way they wilted down looked like it was these people like standing guard, like looking at me,
Mm-hmm.
like holding things. Like, I mean, one, it looked like it had like a spear. Another one looked like it had something else. And I even went back out there in the daytime and I'm like, how could I get so freaked out to think that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And first of all, why are they looking at me like this? But I think it was more of, I wasn't afraid. I don't think they were kind of guarding the woods against me. Something had triggered their warning system or something, but it wasn't me. But I was at a freaked out stage that I just thought it was me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But I mean,
that makes total sense. A
I
lot.
the next day, and there was no way that I could have thought with my eyes that them people, that they were people guarding the.
Mm-hmm.
It creeped me out, and I still go back there and I look, and I'm like, "There's no way." What was I looking at last night? And that was like, it scared me enough to where I called my dragon, and I don't do that unless it's an absolute emergency.
Right.
I feel really threatened.
No, I believe you. I've seen them. I've seen all kinds of beings.
Somebody's
I find it fascinating, actually. I used to, like I said, it used to scare the crap out of me for a little while.
Right.
Back when I was reawakening.
Hold on 1 second. Eddie's raising his voice. I just want to see what's going on. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I find all this stuff fascinating. I've had a lot of experiences with all types of beings. And I don't feel threatened by them in any way. And I don't feel like they feel threatened by me. Perhaps it's because I'm calm with them. Thanks, White Wolf. I like it too.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's okay.
He's talking to his best friend. I should have known, but so his voice he was getting excited. And I'm like, what the hell's going on out there?
Right. Exactly, White Wolf. I've seen. Speaking of the tree, he was talking about the tree.
Thank you.
I say this is like my quote. I once but a seed, but now I am a tree. That's what I have on my Instagram page as well. Because I've basically blossomed, but not only that I've seen it, I've seen this tree, this lost land. So this light coming from it, I can't quite find any picture like what I've seen, but in my mind, but it's a little close.
Yeah. I actually, when I do pass on and I get cremated, I want to be spread around a tree.
Oh yeah.
I've always, a long time I've wanted that.
Yeah, I've said I know trees have souls as well. Um, I've communicated with trees. I've had
Oh
trees
yeah, I've heard them.
communicate.
I've heard them chatter. I hear these guys chatter all the time back here.
Yeah, when I moved, I was just gonna move to another unit across the way, and I knew I was gonna have to move. And this tree that I had actually hugged, and I think I told you about that. I had actually been shown the Sirius star system,
Mm-hmm.
and I was showered in this diamond glitter dust that night with my daughter. We both saw it. We caught that on camera, but our camera stopped. So we have the photos, and we felt, but right before we did that, we hugged this tree. And the next morning, the tree, a third of that tree had fallen down, like it had been struck by lightning, but there was no storm.
Wow.
And I don't know, I heard like along lines with witches, and I never really called myself anything, but I've heard other witches that have actually intentionally done certain spells, that they have had this happen to them, and they've taken a piece of the tree and turned it into um oh god, you lost the word. Their ritual stick, their staff,
Staff? Their staff or their wand?
right, or their wand. In the Bible, it's called a staff, right?
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, right?
But and it describes that in the Bible, the step by step of what can happen as far as this goes, the lightning and everything. I think and what happened to me is really descriptive. It's described in the book of Ezekiel. Um, but yeah, I hugged this tree, and like I said, a third of it's still standing today. It has the most leaves on it. It's the most beautiful tree. And I don't know if I ever sent you pictures of the center of that tree, of where it actually got struck. It looks like an angel
Oh,
burst into
wow.
the tree. And anyway, when I had to move, I still live on the land. I moved a few units down. The tree came to me and she said, I was like, she said, Christine, I'm really going to miss you. And it's like she was sad, like, and I was crying. I literally just tears started falling down my face.
I
And I don't know. I mean, so yeah, I always say I'm a tree hugger for sure. And my daughter, she's the same way. We were compelled that night. We were even told to go outside. It was a full moon. We laid in the grass. And that night, I mean, it was a very beautiful night for us. And ever since then, we've been tree huggers for
oh,
sure.
yeah. I've always loved trees.
Yeah.
These ones, like I said, these ones back here, that's almost why I was looking into doing tree walkers today for this show, but I didn't. Just because I gotta dig in and find what I do is I save the stuff and then I forget where I save it to. So I gotta go through the whole computer to find out where the hell this stuff is that I want to talk about. But these trees out here, they move, they walk. I know they walk,
Hmm.
and I hear them chatter all the time, back and forth, and you know, I've always loved trees, always.
I have to, we had an orchard. My mom still lives there. We have an orchard in the second backyard. And I call it the second backyard. Our backyard was so big, we called the other half the second backyard. But I always dreamt, since I was a little child, driving down a long drive with lined with trees. So I've always wanted a house with a long drive lined with trees.
Right.
I love trees.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there are almost like, well, at least to me, they're almost, like our elders. You know what I mean? They're just very majestic, very knowledgeable. And Haunted Jim, that could be. I'll have to look into that. About the, what is it, the Dryads? Not the Druids, but the Dryads. And I'm going to look into that. I really am. Slavic, really. Slavic. Is that Russian?
This has been such an interesting conversation. Like, we could go on and on and on, but I do need to get off of here and go get my daughter soon.
Yeah, I need to
This
take
has
a
been
nap
so
before I go to
much fun.
But it has been great.
This has been a really good conversation.
Hey, Lunar. How you doing, hon?
Hey, Mary.
But yeah, it really has. Is Slavic a part of Russia, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like Slavic lore? The reason I ask is because I'm so close to Russia. And
Right.
Russia used to own the same land.
Mm-hmm. I have been really interested. God, Ukraine, what they've been digging up over there in Ukraine.
Right?
Yeah. Very interesting.
That I'm definitely going to have to. Yugoslavia. Yeah, okay. Yugoslavia, yeah. I'm definitely going to have to look into it and see if that's what I was seeing. All I know is these guys look like little warrior, almost like I don't even know what movie it was from. What the hell movie was it? I keep wanting to say Gremlins, but it's not.
Which movie? What?
I'm trying to think. They were wrong. All I know is, huh?
I said, which movie? And you're like, I don't know which movie.
I'm like thinking, all I can remember is I think it was The Mummy. Was it The Mummy? Where they were running through, yeah, and then them little people came up to them.
Oh God, I don't know.
I don't know. I can't remember either. I just remember they were in tall grass.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were just like little warrior people.
Yeah.
And they were, man, they showed that like I wouldn't mess with them. You know what I mean?
Nope.
But yeah, I got to get going too. I have to actually take a nap before work.
A nap sounds good. I've already had a nap today too. But
well, I get tired like every 3 hours.
Yeah, I feel you there.
Yeah, I mean, I loved our conversation today.
This has been awesome. Yeah, because we haven't been able to. Yeah, we've been going for a while. I don't think we've ever talked this long before. We didn't have enough time to.
Yeah.
Really deep into the talk.
Yeah.
Cover everything, but yeah, I mean, well, we didn't even cover everything. I'm sure we could do other topics.
Definitely. You're welcome up here anytime. You know.
Thank you.
You know, definitely. Okay, Haunted Jim. I know that feeling.
Right.
I like last night. I was, especially when it comes to the Alaskan Triangle. I'm very interested in that. I mean, to me, honestly, I think a lot of that has to deal with bears and our weather up here.
A bear.
Yeah, people go missing in the woods for a reason. We have a lot of bears.
Bear and
we don't have just like brown bears. We have brown bears, grizzly, and you know, black bears. So, but okay, Lunar, I'll look for it. How many are there? Triangles? Only one in Alaska and one in Bermuda, as far as I know. Do you know, Diary? Is there more than that?
Well, the last one I saw was in the sky. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, there's Diary triangle in the sky.
But no.
That's true.
Yeah. There's one in Georgia. Well, no, that covers the Bermuda, right? It covers Florida to Georgia.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. Very interesting.
I think there's only two, yeah.
It's been scientifically proven that there is a change in the atmosphere. I don't know, the atmospheric pressure or something like that. I don't don't quote me on that. That would be something, a good topic.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, too, as I brought up to Mike last night, we were talking on his live stream
Yes, I did, Mary. Yeah.
that because of HARP, and I brought up again because when I watch streams, all this shit pops into my head, and like he was talking about the Alaskan Triangle, and I'm like, do you think? I said I haven't done any research, and he said, of course, he'd have to do research, extensive research, about it. But I'm wondering if, like, from HARP with them shooting ions, it has made Alaska more prone to paranormal activity. But again, I'd have to research how it was before.
Honestly, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, think about it. Even us using electricity,
Right.
or even us using the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, you can even feel it whenever you even click on a paranormal stream and someone turns on their spirit box. It's definitely, I definitely think it's changed a lot of things.
Yeah. Right, White Wolf. Yeah, that's, what, I watching, because I watched a lot of Bermuda Triangle stuff. Yeah. With the methane, I think that's a lot of it. I really do. With the methane bubbles. Definitely. But the Alaska Triangle is something different. I always thought it was part of, like, I was trying to match it for some reason I was trying to match up the Alaska Triangle with the Bermuda Triangle, because I was like, is it a Makerba? And we just they got the bottom, we got the top. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Shit like that pops in my head all the time.
It does me too. That's why I like you so much. One of the reasons. Sometimes I feel like I'm listening to myself.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I do. That's why I sit here and I'm like, when you're talking, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
But with that being said, I'll let everybody go. They're probably like, what the hell? They said they were leaving.
I'm going to go ahead and jump down and let you say bye to everybody.
All right, Diary. Thank you so much for coming up, though.
Thanks. And hey, Boomer. Hey, Boomer.
Hey, Boomer.
I'll see y'all here. Much love, everybody.
Thank you again, Diary. All right, guys. With that being said, of course, Boomer coming in, I know, you missed everything. I've been going for 3 hours, Boomer. What the hell? See how you are? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming in, and, make sure you come back tomorrow so we can play our games. And if you don't know what that is, I do Jackbox games, and tomorrow I should be able to do Air Console games where we all play together. I'm sorry, Boomer. No, I know. But I love you guys so much. I appreciate everything you guys do. Thank you for liking and subbing and sharing and all that good stuff. And yeah, it's been a great freaking episode. I thank Diary so much for coming up. It was a lot of fun. Always and forever, Diary. You're always welcome, as well as anybody is always welcome to jump up on the panel, because I love talking to you guys. I love getting to know you guys, and I love your different aspects of things and topics that I wouldn't even think of. And yeah, so thank you all for joining me so much. Yeah, maybe next time, Boomer. Definitely. You're always welcome up here too. Everybody is. I love you all. I thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you tomorrow. All right, guys, take care.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.